Hello, Janice.
Hello, Anthony.
Today we're going to break down whether you should hire the lawyer or the broker first when selling a probate property. So should you look for the broker or the lawyer first when selling probate property? So we understand that with non-probate home sales, just a regular husband and wife selling their home, the brokers come first because they need to list, they need to run the open houses, and they need to just find that great buyer. And only then, when the buyer is in place, does the lawyer get involved. Once the deal is struck, and the lawyer draws up the contract and conducts the closing. That's their role, limited to those two tasks. But with probate, talking to a lawyer first makes way more sense, and here's why. Okay, so you want to talk to the probate lawyer first. That's an important distinction, not a real estate closing attorney. You want to talk to a probate lawyer first when selling probate home. Is because you need to figure out who can sell this thing.
Right.
Is it the heirs? Is it an executor who's not one of the heirs? Who has the legal authority to run the show here? Yeah.
Yes.
Do you need probate? Not every estate needs probate. If you have, if the title is a certain way, or if you're in an area where the title companies will accept heirs at law affidavits, or maybe the thing is in a trust, so you don't have to go through probate court.
Yep.
These are all things that are best analyzed and determined by a probate attorney.
Yes. Yep. But you might also need a bunch of probate, right?
If you're multi-generational, right? We've talked about that.
Yes, we have. Yep. Yep.
So then, yes, if we don't know if it's, or you don't know until you've spoken to somebody, if it's going to be multiple probates, and that all ties into how long will this all take, and how much will it cost to get started. And that could have a huge impact on the cost, and time can have a huge impact on what type of broker you end up working with. Yeah.
Yes.
And then lastly, your estate attorney will help you walk through and figure out what kind of estate debts, taxes, and other negatives will be involved with the estate, so that you can figure out, hey, is this even worth it? Like, do we want to go through all this hassle just to end up with the leftover fraction, of what's left?
Right.
Now, there are a couple of pre-steps that a probate lawyer can help with. But to be fair, these are also things that a good broker can help with. So this is kind of like either can help with these.
Yes.
Running title, or either an attorney or a broker can hire a title company and have them to basically figure out who owns it and look for any major judgments or liens. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's a big one. Yep. The liens. Yeah. Yep.
Again, either the lawyer or a broker can talk to the management or HOA in other areas, co-op or condo management, mostly here in New York, and just see if there's any red flags or problems that will be coming up.
Yes. Yep.
So yeah, those are some of the things that either can do. But let's move on and talk about brokers. What happens when you work with a broker first in selling probate property. So they are very useful, of course, to figure out how much you can reasonably expect to sell for. And a lawyer really can't help you figure that out beyond internet searches.
Yes. Yep.
So because this is important, you need to know, similar to figuring out the debts, you need to know, is there enough value left over to deal with this mess? That's very useful information. But so some of the reasons why you may not want to go to the broker first is, we've seen this a lot, Janice, where the broker gets a little eager just to, get a new deal onto their rolls. But they didn't really understand the estate situation. They didn't realize that the person they were speaking with doesn't have the legal authority to hire them or something else along those lines. And then they just kind of fade out of the picture. It's kind of wasted time talking to this guy.
Because if they have no legal authority, they can't sign. Or a different case, you get too far into the process and you have nothing, right? No one to sign.
Yeah. And there's also the element that your situation may not require a broker. It might necessitate a cash investor, or maybe one of the heirs or a neighbor wants to make the purchase. In that case, if you had dealt with the attorney first, there's a good chance you could have avoided the 4 to 6% broker's commission altogether.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that seems worth avoiding if possible. Yeah. So that's it. We get this. We don't get this question a lot, but we see it happen a lot. So we were hoping to kind of lay this out for anybody who's approaching selling a probate property, so they can figure out how to get started first.
Yeah, just touch base with a lawyer, a probate lawyer, just to see, especially before you start signing things. And, back to what you were saying about the broker is there are some rules with estates that you can't sell for too little, right? You can't so you have to keep it fair for the heirs and equitable. So definitely check with the lawyer first. And then in general, how probate works, Anthony's book, available on Amazon, will tell you what you'll have to go through as the executor and why you want to reach out to an attorney.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to do when you're selling probate real estate. And hopefully this helps folks get the process started on the right foot. Okay. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Thanks, Janice, as always. And we will talk soon next time.
Talk soon.
Bye now.